Welcome to the Senior Tuber Incentive. This is a podcast for baby boomers and Gen Xers who want to learn about becoming a YouTube content creator. Either you have a channel and you would like to learn more about having it optimized and working for you better than it is, or you haven't had a channel, but you're hearing about all these people our age who are starting to create channels where they get to express themselves and they get to be the thing they wanted to be for all their lives, or if they've been teaching their whole life, now they could teach again. So if you're anywhere between those two lines, welcome, because we're going to talk about a couple of things today. The first thing we're going to talk about is why people who are Gen Xers or baby boomers resist becoming YouTube content creators. So we're going to talk about that first. And then right after that, I'm going to talk about how for you as a content creator, for you to train your viewers and all your friends how to support you on your YouTube channel without having to buy your stuff. They could buy your stuff. Without having to buy your stuff, they can still do a lot of things that would help you grow your channel. So stick around. I'm going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. First, let's talk about why people do not start a YouTube channel, right? You might think your reason is the only reason, but there are so many reasons. So I'm going to give you a couple. The first one that I hear the most is, I don't want to be on camera. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. And I don't want anybody to see me that way. Well, first of all, you don't have to. There's a thing called faceless channel. And if you go on there as a commentator or animated, or there are a lot of channels out there that are faceless, and you may not notice it right now. But now that you know there's a thing called a faceless channel, you might go on there and look and see, oh my gosh, this is just a PowerPoint, or this is just an animation, or this is just a visual or a meditation. So the whole thing is, don't use that as an excuse. And that's what this whole segment is about. Every excuse you have, somebody else has it and still became a YouTube content creator, especially a senior creator, or a mature creator, or a baby boomer creator, or a Gen Xer, whatever category you fit into, not only you belong out here, but there's somebody waiting for you to talk about whatever you need to talk about, because they're waiting for your voice, your personality, your information, and don't deprive them, besides depriving yourself. I call it leaving your legacy on YouTube. Now, you can just call it leaving your gifts or being self-expressed, but whatever it is, you belong there. And I've been teaching my clients for years how to get ready to be on camera. And one of the first things I tell people, if you don't want to be on camera because you don't like the way you look, then just humor me and get a camera. And we've done this before in some other videos, but just get a camera, go to your YouTube app and hit play and just record yourself. Even if you don't want to go to the YouTube app, go to your camera in your phone and record about 5 videos, a minute long. Don't have to say anything. You could delete it right afterwards. And when I say you don't have to say anything, you don't have to say anything pertinent. But the first ones, it could just be like, all right, Fran asked me to make a video. So here I am making a video. That's it. I'm done. I'm not even going to go the whole minute. And you hit stop and save. Then do it again and say, okay, don't forget to hit record. And you just go again and say, okay, this is my second chance. Now that I got the first one out of the way, let me see. Okay, how am I sitting? How do I sound? Is this what I want to look? I'm using my hands too much. Should I not use my hands too much? And there's a little secret there for you. If you're somebody who uses your hands like me, I would die with my hands buried somewhere. They have to be like this, right? So look at yourself, learn to appreciate yourself, not try to change yourself. I tilt my head too much. I tried to straighten it out. I couldn't think, right? So what are you doing that you don't like? People are seeing you do it every day. You just don't see yourself doing it. So then you make the third video and you say, okay, third video. Now I know how I sound. And now I know how I look. Now I want to do something that may be significant. You know, I'm doing a channel about traveling and I'm going to talk about traveling on your own. And this is what people do. And I'm going to talk about that for a minute and give them information on where to go, what to bring, how to be safe. And then that's the other one. Click. And then just keep doing that. So at the end of the day, you have 4 or 5. You look at them all. You keep them or delete them. Nobody has to see them. And you're done. And then do the same thing tomorrow. And by the end of the week, you might be leaving some really significant videos that you want to keep. You don't know that. So try it. All you have to do is try it, rule it in or out after you do that for 1 week, okay? And if you do it, I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Did you do it? How many did you make? How did it feel for you? What type of videos? What did you come up with? What came from it? Do you want to do it again? Because this is a big reason, and people aren't getting their gifts out there because of it. And I just want to help you break through it. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. So I just want you to know you have choice, okay? The other reasons, there's plenty of reasons. I'm not going to get to them all today, but some think they're too old to be on YouTube. Do you think you're too old? I've seen YouTube creators that were up to 104 years old, and I definitely see plenty in their 90s. And some of them doing it with their sisters, their other 90-year-old sister, or they're doing it with their grandchildren who are helping them, or they're doing it on their own. And they're anywhere from being a cook to a podcaster to just being funny on camera. If that's you, if you think you'd make a great video with you and your family members where you just sit around and laugh and giggle and tell jokes or do tricks, then do it. It doesn't have to be about a business. It doesn't have to be something that's some people don't find interesting. It has to be interesting to you first. Then we'll worry about your audience later. We're trying to break the ice here. So I have a couple of people in their 80s in my senior tuber community. So they thought they were too old until they got into my community and they realized they weren't. We have a senior tuber community, by the way, where we help everybody in the community for like several hours a month. We do certain kind of training. So if you're ever interested in the community part of this, just go to the description, tells you where to go to join us. We also have free YouTube training library on YouTube. So if you're seeing this on my channel, you'll see a whole section that says free training, and everything is in order from optimizing your channel and learning how to optimize your videos, and just keep doing the videos in order and you'll have an optimized system. If you need more, again, everything's in the description below if you need to reach us. So what else is stopping you out there? You think you're too old? Only if you think you have nothing to offer. And I'd say if you think you have nothing to offer, think again. What have you been doing your entire life? Have you been teaching or building? Have you been a handyman? Boy, handymen do so well on YouTube. People who have a gift for things, and you probably do, they're doing well on there. And once you get on there, I'll help you get through it. But let's get you on there. Let's get you doing something you love. What do you love? Do you like to cook, bake, read, pray? Do you like to crochet? Do you like to talk to children? Do you like to talk to adults? Do you like music? Do you like to travel? I mean, it's just so much. If you go on YouTube for about an hour and just scroll channels, you'll be amazed by how many different types of channels there are. Now, what I'd like you to do during this time, after you're done today, is start keeping notes of the things you like to do or the things you're good at. You know, when I thought I was going to do a class or a podcast or a course, I always said, what am I going to do that on? Now, here I've been teaching for 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 40 years or more. And guess what? I thought I didn't have anything to teach. Turns out that once I clicked that piece of my brain open that had been closed, thinking I had nothing to share with the world, I became dangerous. My list became longer and longer and longer to the point I couldn't niche it down. I didn't know what to do with all that information. And for the record, you can have as many YouTube channels as you want. You might need different Google accounts, but you could have a lot of YouTube channels if you want them. Make sure you can manage them. Don't overwhelm yourself. I'd say get one going, and then if you feel like you have another niche out there and you want to do, yeah, sure, start it then. So the other things that people do, the reasons they don't have a YouTube channel is they are not tech savvy. Is that you? Do you not know how to use the computer, a microphone, a camera? You don't know how to edit? Well, I hear you, right? I didn't know how to use a lot of this stuff in the beginning. Then I learned, and you could do it yourself. You could create a video that you don't need to edit. You could hire somebody to do it. There are people who hire out for every aspect of doing a YouTube video. They're not on it. They just have an idea and they have somebody who'll do it for them. So there's almost somebody for every single thing. You don't have any ideas? You don't know what type of channel you want? Well, all you have to do is put into ChatGPT. If you're not into AI yet, you could be. Go into ChatGPT. It's free. And put down all the things that you like and tell it that you want to create a YouTube channel and you don't know what your niche should be. And once you do go in there and say, these are all the things that I'm interested in, these are the ones that I'm really good at, these are the ones I'm a little hesitant for, let's try to at least organize them. And then you tell ChatGPT what it is, what you want to do. Do you want to entertain? Do you want to educate? Do you want to do both, which is infotainment? Do you want to make money? Do you just want to share because it's coming, whatever comes up for you that day? There's different types of strategies depending on what your goal is. And if you're looking to make money, then yes, you probably want to meet certain needs that YouTube needs to promote you and for other people to find you. But if you just want to go out there and share and sing your heart out or talk your heart out, whatever it is, you can do that. Nobody's telling you have to do it any certain way. There's just a certain way to do it if you want to be seen. Okay. And then we teach that in my training library, how to optimize your channel and how to optimize your videos. Okay. So what else? What else is keeping you? Think about it. Just scared? I was afraid personally of the bullies. I thought, I'm a happy person. I don't know if I want anybody to be a bully, right? And it turns out I don't really have that issue, thank goodness, but I might eventually. And I decided what to do if I have bullies. And that's a good way. If you ever have somebody who's bullying you or being nasty to you in your comments, you can actually decide how you want to handle it before it happens. One way to handle it is that you could block the person who said it. Another way is that you could respond to them in a very nice way or in a mean way. People do both. Another way, believe it or not, is to leave it there and don't do anything, but let your fans and your subscribers take care of it. They usually have conversations with them until they leave or just keep going, but it actually benefits you if that conversation keeps going. If you don't let it bother you, though, because you're not supposed to be stressed over this or upset over this. If you can't do that, then yes, by all means, block them. But if you can handle it, watching people debate in front of you on your comments, they usually will work it out for you. And you actually make money because of the engagement, because YouTube actually gives us brownie points just for having engaged subscribers. So here I go. Those are a few of the things. There are more. I might just pop in and throw another one in later, but there are so many more. And whatever they are, I promise you, there's a solution to that. If you think it's going to cost too much money, it could be just you and your phone and nothing else. You don't need to have a camera. You could actually there are people who actually only run their whole YouTube channel on their phones. You go into your YouTube app, which is free, and then you can hit record. You can do a short, which is a vertical or a horizontal video. That's called a long. And you can do a short up to 3 minutes, and you can do a long. Depends on you if you get your channel verified. It's 15 minutes unless you get your phone number verified, and then you can leave longer, hours-long videos. So if you think it's going to cost a lot of money, it doesn't have to. Some things I've gotten gradually because I've been a YouTube content creator since 2009. So I went from something very simple to getting a little bit more elaborate, more monitors, better cameras, better equipment. But I didn't have to. I just chose to because I was taking all the academies and I was learning all this stuff and everybody was showing off their stuff and I got tempted. But you don't have to, okay? The point is, there's going to be a reason for every single one of us. Some of us have more than one reason, but please don't let it stop you if you feel. Here's the way to tell. If you think there's something out there that you don't want to die with, right? I'm not saying you're old or you're dying. I'm saying that some of us, when we wake up at 60 years old or at retired age, and we go, oh my gosh, what's next? Like you may or may not have a partner, you may or may not have a job, you may or may not belong to a community, but some of us still wake up with that weird feeling saying, what's next? What am I going to do for the rest of my life? And it may be 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, who knows how many years you still have. So why not be planning? They say that people who have goals are the ones that live the longest, right? So create some goals for yourself. And if the first goal has to be, my goal is to get over the fear or to try making those videos just from home, then that's the first goal. And then you can say, well, I kind of like it. And now that I can do that, and I know it's not going to kill me, I've been kind of thinking about this thing. And I'm going to try that. I'm going to see if I feel good about it. And then there are people out there, believe it or not, who get immediate response from their audience because they were waiting for them. It was just divine. And there are other people that are slow builders. They might take months or years before they actually see their channel grow. And that's by learning some of the tricks of the trade, which this podcast is not about today. Okay? But I would like you to put something in the comments again. If you do have a fear, a reason, let's say that, if you have a reason that you are not going on YouTube, please tell me in the comments so that I can share with you or communicate with you, help you if you need, or just give you a blessing to do whatever it is you want to do. Because you're not wrong if you don't want to. It's just the time. Right now is the time where content creators, for the next 10 years, they say that's the best business, the new business, right? Because it's not expensive. You get to be an entrepreneur for very little initial investment. And it's also a really big trend for people our age. We were sitting there watching everybody else's videos and we say, hey, I could do that. Hey, I could do that better. I'm wiser than that person. I've been building up all my wisdom for 40 years. I'm going to be sharing what I know. I've got a lot to say. I can help a lot of people. And that's something you can go and think for yourself. What is it that would be stopping you? And would you miss out on that? Would you wake up one day and say, man, I could have done something bigger on YouTube because this is the time to do it? And give yourself permission to choose not to go, but also give yourself permission to try it. And try it and don't continue if you want to. Let's play. It's the whole point about this is we're older now. We don't have to do things so seriously like some other people who are building their futures. We could be building our future. We could be building an extra income, but we don't have to. I personally work on YouTube. It's my way of earning money. But guess what? If I'm not going to have fun, I don't want to be here, you know? So that's what we try to teach at the Senior Tuber. That's what I'm hoping. If you do get a channel, you don't take it too seriously, that you go out and have fun, you do your job right, you study what you're doing. All that stuff can be done, but at a lighter, easier pace, one that's yours. It's your channel, your decisions, your pace, okay? All right, so let's get over to some of the reasons or some of the ways that we can help our viewers, our subscribers, and our friends to support our channel. I think I wrote a blog about this too, and I might have even done another video on it, but it felt like I should say it again today. Because here's what happens. I was in a networking group the other day, and I heard somebody tell the entire networking group, please go here and subscribe because I only need 125 more subscribers. Now, I don't know what that was for, some milestone, I'm sure. When that happens, those people were really generous. You kept seeing the comments going and going, saying, I just subscribed. And the congratulations are going back and forth. And I thought, you know what? This person does not know what they could be doing wrong by doing that. And I have other people who have come to me having thousands and no activity on their channel. So YouTube is not promoting it because YouTube likes to see a channel with engagement before it will actually share you with other YouTubers. You want to be in the list of recommended videos. So what are they doing wrong? They're sharing about subscribing to their channel. And guess what? And if all those people never plan on coming back, if they're not interested in what you're doing, and they never go back, and every time you put in a video and it gets notified with your audience, guess what? It doesn't look good for you. The algorithms are saying, this person has 1,000 subscribers and nobody's looking at the new videos. They must not be good. And you tend to actually lose momentum and lose money if you don't have people who really are fans of yours. If you wanted to go for sponsorship, if you wanted to get YouTube partner programs, some of these things require you to have engagement. So my recommendation is that you listen to the few things that I'm going to give you that you can have people do for you to support you. But be very careful how you ask people to subscribe. So you could ask them some way by saying, I have a YouTube channel about this. So I'll use me for an example. I have a YouTube channel about helping baby boomers and Gen Xers start and grow YouTube channels. If you're interested and you think this is something you'd like to be kept informed about, would you do me a favor and subscribe? Or if you know somebody who's interested, would you please share it with them and tell them if they're interested to subscribe? But don't tell them to do it to get you over a hurdle, because that hurdle will just hurt you, okay? Or it could hurt you. Okay, so how do you tell them to support you? Here's one way. One way is just the way, most of the ways that you know already are liking the video. Okay, all they have to do is like the video, which shows people saw it, and now they liked it. That's telling YouTube and the algorithms that, hey, there's interest here. Let's see what else is going on. Another way is to comment on the video, good or bad. Hopefully you won't be sharing bad things. Hopefully this is a kind audience, but if you have to, you have to. But if you share anything, especially if they asked a question and you're answering it in the comments, that's really good. So you can comment and you could like it. You can also share it. If you want, you can share it to other channels. If you have people on your channel that might be interested, you can post it in your community page. You can put a link in your description, or you can share the link to the video in other people's social media or your social media, wherever you want to do from there, just to share it, wherever you think somebody might be interested. There's this feature on YouTube called clips, where you can actually go and clip a portion of somebody's video, and you could tell them, clip a portion of it. It comes with a link, you give it a title, and you share it with your people. And that's a great thing they could do for you, because those people who get that link will actually have access to your entire video if they like it. Another thing people could do is they could buy your stuff. Now, you're trying to do this without asking them for money. But if I'm working with a senior tuber, let's say that, and I know that I use a tool that I use every single day, which is TubeBuddy, and I think that they should know about it in case they're looking to have the same results that I have. And so I share that link. And if they use my link, I get a commission. And they get a discount in some of the areas. Some of my affiliate partners will offer a discount with a code. So that's a good thing. So if you see anything that your favorite YouTuber is selling or offering or sharing, click on those things so that they know you're interested, and buy their stuff if you're interested. Not if you're not. But if you're going to buy it anyway, if they say, okay, I have this book about how to become a senior tuber creator, and you wanted a book about it, then you might buy it. Okay? Here's a big thing. When you are watching somebody's channel, if you're asking them when they watch your channel or when you watch another content creator's channel, watch their videos all the way through. When somebody clicks on your video, if they stay on for at least 30 seconds, it is now counted as a view. Now the clock starts running. So that's what you want to do, is stay on that video as long as you can, because we get credit for the length of time somebody stays. So you'll actually be able to see it when they dropped off. Did they drop off before the 30-second mark? Did they drop off before the middle of the video? Did they drop off? Did they stay till the end? It's really exciting when somebody stays to the end. And so that's really important, because not only is it hurting you in some way and you don't want it to, but there's a way to be in charge of it. And that wasn't what we were going to talk about today, but I'll tell you, you can keep people longer on your video if you keep them interested. So what's going to keep them interested in the first 30 seconds? Telling them what you're going to do. If you have music playing or some sort of an intro for 3 minutes, chances are they're going to drop off way before that 3 minutes. So your job is to not make it boring for the first few seconds or minutes. And you're going to ask them if would they mind staying on that video to the end, unless they hated it. Okay. Don't ask them to do anything they don't like. But if you're enjoying it, but you don't realize that if you stop now, it's going to impact me, just watch the rest of the video if it's only a couple of minutes. And if you're really interested in it, stay for more, because that's also a thing, is they could watch more than one video, and that looks good for you. These are just a couple of things that you could do. I want to know what you think you can do to help your fellow channel owners. I'd love for you to write it again in the comments section so that I know what you're doing to help them. And good for you if you are, because I've become a better viewer since I am a channel owner. So now I do hit like, I do send comments, and I do try to be as engaged and buy people's products, because I know what it means. So go ahead and take some of this in. Let me know if you have any questions about it. And we're going to come back with more tips for the senior and mature content creator. But if you have things that you want us to talk about during the Senior Tuber Incentive, this podcast, I need to know what you're looking for. I always have things in my mind and I create those podcasts. But what do you want? What would help you as a baby boomer creator or Gen X creator? What do you need to get you started, to get you rolling, to breathe new life into your channel? Let us help you. That's what we do. I'm Fran Asaro. I'm the founder of the Senior Tuber community. I hope you will subscribe to this channel and ring the bell. And every time we put up a training video or a podcast, you will get notified. And we do have all different aspects of supporting you, from free to private sessions and everything in between. We have something for every budget, for every level of learning, and for every level of interest. So hopefully we'll hear from you some way or another. Stay in touch. We need you to be a part of this for us to give you what you need. All right? Thank you. Until next time. Have a great day.